right, I will call the Finance Committee to order. First up, Corey George. Good morning.
I believe first on the list is a request for an appropriation in the CASA fund, Fund 1213. 25,600 in the part-time line and 1,990 in the Social Security line.
And we have that in council budget. I do believe, don't we usually budget that? Max?
Good question. So are we talking about an appropriation?
Yes, an appropriation.
Has that been advertised? So then we need a hearing to handle that?
Yeah, we do. Aren't those dollars in our budget though?
No. It's
They're not?
Wayne
We
Union
have those in
CASA
there every
Fund.
Okay,
This is the addition of the CASA volunteer coordinator.
Yes, the part-time
that's right.
position I believe, last month regarding. This is the second
Okay.
time I've come up regarding this.
that's right.
So I
I'm
believe-
sorry. So we need to open a public hearing at this time. Do we have any comments or questions? I'll entertain a motion to close.
Close public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so we just need to move money from council contingency to,
No,
No,
this
it's
is
an
money that's in the-
appropriation.
I'm sorry.
It's just an appropriation in the fund.
In the fund, okay, there was, my thing was blank up here that says where it's coming from. Okay, so we need the motion to actually move the money.
So it's the 25,600 plus the 1990,
Mhm.
Corey, correct?
Yes, correct.
But it's actually appropriating it from your funds to these line items.
Yes, the money's in the fund. We just had not asked to appropriate it because it's a new position.
Okay,
So it's not
okay.
essentially a transfer or
It's not a
anything. It's
transfer.
an appropriation.
But we need a motion to
Yes.
approve the appropriation.
And I would move that we approve that appropriation. Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? There are none. Did you have something else?
I do. I believe I'm on the agenda for the community corrections transfer. So this is a request to transfer within the community corrections DOC grant budget. We had some changes in our personnel, so this is really just a request to transfer money to realign our resources. So the request is to transfer $8,019.88 from the community corrections probation officer line to the community corrections director line. The money is there, it's just realigning it within that grant. I do have one small caveat just based upon timing. The request for this transfer also has to be heard by the Community Corrections Executive Committee, which is scheduled for Friday. So the timing of this just got you guys in front of them. So I'm asking for this request contingent upon the final review by the Community Corrections Advisory Board on Friday. No new money, just realigning the resources.
You have any other questions? A motion?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? There are none.
And if it's okay, I'll just communicate with the auditor on Friday after the executive board meets. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Dan Burke.
Good morning. I was doing an internal audit on some of our grants and found an error from last year, and due to the last year budgets being closed, I believe we have to treat this as a transfer instead of a correction. So on, that was the date, September 30th of last year, some funds were deposited through Verity, a company we use on the clinical side. They should have went into Fund 9165, and they accidentally got put into 9165. So I'm asking council to allow me to transfer cash from 9175 and put it in 9165 where it belongs.
All right, do we have any other questions for Dan on that? He has all the explanation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, the 4D transfer. Do you want to speak to that, Mark? You've been dealing with that.
Yeah, and Jeff, in his conversations with Judge Horn and other staff over there, they are working on a future plan of how to address the funds in 8895, and so wish to continue at this point of paying the salaries of the 4D court staff out of 4902. Jeff, you want to say a little more about the looking forward and the uses of 8895?
Yes, I have talked with Lonnie, and I've asked Lonnie to put together in writing a list of programs that they feel that they would be able to use that money for. Lonnie told me he should have that to me by next week, and once I receive that, I will put that out and send that out to all the council members.
When Austin Shadle was here, he referenced the fact that they could and should probably use some of those funds and other things instead of paying
That is correct.
the personnel in the
Right.
4D court. So we have money in the council's budget to supplement 4902. The judge has requested this $76,000 figure to be transferred. He thinks that, along with additional deposits into that fund through the year, should carry that. If not, we'll have to address it before the end of the year. However, we must keep in mind that in the budget process, we've got to spend considerable time on this subject and get this resolved going forwards. I would move that we approve the transfer of the $76,000 from the council line item to Fund 4902.
I second it.
Any other questions? We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. Judge Horn will be happy that we got that taken care of today, I'm sure.
I will let them know.
Yes, please do, Jeff.
Okay, next on our agenda, we need to approve our minutes from last month's meeting.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none. Okay, next up, Gary Callahan.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm here to ask for in the 2025 ordinance for my chief deputy's salary to be adjusted. 2 years ago, when they equalized all of the department head and elected officials, township was left out of that in 24 and for 25. So I'm asking that my chief deputy, mine cannot be adjusted until 26. But I'm asking at least that my chief deputy's salary be adjusted based on what mine would have been and not be penalized.
Kim, I have a question on that. Since the chief deputy's salary is based on the elected official, are we allowed to do that?
I think that's gonna be a wrong cost.
I think it's fine. That is not fixed in statute. That's been
Okay.
basically a working and workable approach that council has taken. I think Gary's identified the nuances of this situation are such that I think waiving of that, or I would say more appropriately, an application of that as to what, if he were able to have his salary adjusted, which he isn't in the statute
Yeah.
until 26, I think this is appropriate so that there's no unintended consequences for his chief deputy, which I think otherwise there would be.
Okay,
It's
so,
only a county policy, it's not,
Yes.
yeah, so
Yeah.
we can.
And it works well.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it
Yeah.
attained, I think, a level of consistency.
How much money are we talking?
yeah, I was gonna ask the amount. Do you have that?
Yeah, I think, I don't know if you have the paperwork. Currently, right now, it should be adjusted up to the 65,823.89.
What is it now, though?
That I do not have.
Okay.
I don't have the exact figure in front of me.
So you don't know how much money we need.
Yeah, we kind of need to know how much taxes and all that kind of stuff, what the difference is from what she currently makes to what it's gonna be.
Okay.
And,
The taxes and withholding would come out of the commissioner's budget as
Yeah.
far as FICA and IRF and all of that. So we're basically just talking the,
So,
Pretty good since you're looking
I
at the
think-
North Amendment to the salary ordinance.
I think Kim's looking.
So while she's looking, just,
Kim had it.
yeah, question. So does this come out, is this transfers that we do within Gary's own budget, or these dollars that we would be finding other places?
In this situation, you don't have that money in your
No, I
budget
do
from
not.
anywhere else,
Okay,
yeah.
so we would be looking at other places, okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
So I'm gonna compare.
Kim has it.
I'm gonna compare the salary to the assessor's chief deputy. So the assessor's chief deputy, what's the level that they're paid for?
Yes, they're the same level.
So she's, for total annual compensation, is at 66,823.89.
does that include the stipend
That's the
for
thousand.
the
Yes.
level?
Yes, so that would be
Does
the
your chief
number.
deputy have that same,
Level 2, yes.
Yeah.
I don't have the previous of what she currently makes.
well,
I don't have
just
that amount.
got it right here, it looks like it was 60,900.
Yeah, but I have the same thing that she does for 25, that's of what it should be.
So it would be the 65,923 with the stipend? Is that right?
65,823.
Well,
No.
it should be
Plus
66,823.89.
Yes.
Yes, total.
so we're looking
Yeah,
at a little
and
bit over
currently she's at
5,000.
60,899.73, so
5923, it's 5923.89, it's the difference,
59 what?
23.89.
Can we do that out of contingency?
But why not?
Yeah. You, it looks like, excuse me, $6,000 increase. You have $6,000 someplace in your budget to get that?
No, because I've given everything I've got back.
Yeah,
They've stripped me.
he's done good.
Always trying.
Done good.
I'll make the motion that we approve the increase in the salary for the chief deputy, that $5,923.89, which would be retroactive to January 1st of 25, and pay for that out of contingency.
I'll second that. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? There are none. And I will need the paperwork on that. If you could fill out the form and I'll
we'll
sign
need a
it
salary ordinance.
That's just-
And then we'll have
Take
to
care
do
of it
that
later.
next month at our next meeting, a salary ordinance amendment. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then Gary, in your 26 budget that you
Yeah.
submit, you'll reflect that change for your,
Yes. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have that down to make sure, and I'm sure he won't forget. Okay, next, Mark Holscher.
My office, and we're starting the 26 budgets. I want to give you some information that I don't think in past years you received. In addition, we will be contacting some of the offices looking for additional information between now and budget time so that we can do a better job, I think, of putting together a budget.
There's some useful information here about all the transfers that were made in all the departments and things like that. That's good for us to be able to look at for the whole year.
Thank you.
I'm sure you're gonna read all this.
Of course I am. Thank you, Mark.
I did so.
It's like Christmas, we're all getting presents.
I'll go through some of this stuff really quickly.
Just so you know, I already got mine, so he didn't leave me out.
Max got his, and I gave one to Jeff Plaster, even though his office ain't involved with the total county budget. But, tried to make sure everybody got what we have so far. If you look, what I've given you are, transfers that have been made in 23 and 24, along with copies of the transfers by the office holder, so that you can view what monies have been transferred and why. On the front, I've broken it down by office, so that you can see each office transfers. Then I went through and we picked out the unexpended balances for 24. So you could, the money not spent from individual budgets. And they're labeled, and that's the balance in each office for 24. And what it comes to is about 8% of the total county general fund is not spent. And that seems to be true for several years. In addition, I gave you the adopted 24 budget and then the adopted 25 budget by the funds that require tax rates, so that you can see the increases in the budgets or decreases. That's 24 and 25, not 23 and 24. In addition, we've been through and looked at the cash balances for those funds, going back to 23 and then coming forward to 24. Can't give you 25. 25 beginning cash balance is the ending cash balance in 24. And those cash balances, you can see, don't vary a whole lot. The abstract for Wayne County, which is what we bill the taxes on, for 25 has been submitted to the state. We haven't heard anything back yet as to whether they accept it or not. And then we will proceed with tax billing that due and payable by May 10th. 12th, that's a week. May 10th is a week. We will be I will be contacting the offices involved in these budgets, requesting additional information that has not been provided in years past, but I think is necessary to for us to get the information we need for their budgets. And like I said, the timeline for that we are looking at, okay, will be available at the end of the week with council, and it's something that I will give to my liaison, and then you can help me set the time schedule that you want to do for the budgets. And hopefully, again, this year, this is going to be done electronically for the second year. First year went pretty well. Hope this goes better. But I think it's an improvement for everybody that over the paper budgets that we've done in the past. If you have any questions as you go through this stuff, I'll answer them. And but this is just the first round of information. We've got a lot to collect yet, so it's just gonna be the process for 26, and I'm trying to get out ahead of it so I can do a better job, I think, for the county.
I appreciate that. There's lots of information in here to go over. There'll be a quiz at workshop, so be ready. Just kidding.
Mark, I want to thank you for having Linda to continually update us on the fund balances. That has been very good to get those on a regular basis. Appreciate that.
We'll do that every Tuesday, I think. Or whatever.
She
Yeah.
emails it to us, yeah. That's good to know. All right, is that it?
For now.
Okay. We'll get together on a schedule and have everything. It'll be here before you know it.
Yeah, we'll have that done from our side Friday.
That's fine. We'll line it with when we meet for council and things like that. And we'll do our all-day session in July like we always do and get things rolling. If we don't have anything else, I will take a motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none.